Hello and welcome to episode 4 of our Timberborn 1.0 experimental playthrough with the Iron Teeth on the Ant Farm map. We haven't unpaused the game yet because it's the very beginning of our 11-day bad tide, and I would like to do some preparations before we dive headlong into what very possibly could be the end of this playthrough in episode 4. So, let's talk briefly about the situation that we find ourselves in. We do have a little bit of water here that, for the time being, has kept most of this alive. I expect almost all or possibly all of these crops down here to die because of all this bad water coming in. We've got some cassava planted down here that I think, because of the geography in this area, are probably unlikely to die from contamination. But once this starts evaporating down here, these will dry up. Currently we have 242 water. We have 12 beavers. For an 11-day bad tide, that isn't technically enough water to last the entire length, but I think it's probably enough water to keep the beavers alive until the start of the next temperate cycle. They're going to be really thirsty, and this well-being is probably going to be, I don't know, some heinously low number. I don't know, -10 or worse. Food-wise, we're comparatively in a much worse situation. But I think we're probably still okay. Remember, we've got cassava here. We do have, for the time being at least, some berries over here. So I think it's probably very important that we get this gatherer flag going, because these are going to be the berry bushes that we're going to have access to the longest, if they survive. I expect these to be dead within half a day, probably these trees within the first day. Maybe there's an outside chance we can get a small amount of these berry bushes to stay alive. These are doomed. It's over. It's so far over it's not even worth trying to get to these. These are going to be dead within the first half a day, easy. As are all of these trees over here. Now that covers the bottom area, at least. Well, we haven't gotten over here, and a couple of you guys have made some good comment suggestions about this, but job number 1 is to survive, and then we can talk about that. Let's move up to the next level. So all these crops are done. They're not going to grow anymore. They're probably going to die almost immediately. We do still have, for the time being, cassava that can be fermented, and we've got a decent bit in here as well. So I'm going to leave this fermenter going, which of course requires this large power wheel goes as well, and that is that's going to be that. We are going to very quickly run out of water up here. These aren't irrigated anyway, so I have no incentive to pause this water pump. We might as well just pump this out, get as much as we can, because these aren't going to be irrigated. Rest in peace, the berry bushes and every single one of these trees, but we can harvest these when the time comes. These berry bushes, for right now, may be okay, or they may die in the next half a day. So I'm going to put us in emergency berry acquisition mode and try to get somebody in here to get at least a couple of these berries, because we are really going to need those. We're going to need them like you would not believe. Let's go down to 2 builders here. Actually, I'm going to go down to 1, because we're not really building anything, but we're still going to want to have one. Yeah, I've got those paused. I've got these paused. I don't think there's any other... yeah, okay, I already paused those. That's good. Very top level. These inventors are paused. We're going to need science so that we can unlock the flow dump. That is 250 science. That's going to take a long time, folks, and for that reason, I can't justify prioritizing it yet, but it's going to become important. These blueberries are toast. It's an 11-day bad tide. Drought resistance on these things is like 9 days. It's exactly 9 days, so these are done. It's over. We don't need to ever think about these again, because they're done. Diversion's working nicely. Somebody said, hey, why don't you just put floodgates right in front of the water sources? Well, yeah, I could. But I don't want to play the game that way. I feel like that's kind of cheesy. Flame me if you want. I'm not going to do it. But what I will do eventually when we have the resources is expand this to also divert these right here. I don't know if this will all fit into this one channel. I may need to go to this side as well. But that's going to be an important thing for us to do. Now this side over here we have the bad water source. We're not getting to that anytime soon. This right here, we have 2 water sources here and here. It's not going to be as hard as you think to divert this. Obviously we can't do it right now. But I'm thinking kind of the same deal, except this right here, there's no chance we're going to have sluices anytime soon, if we even get that far, period. But I don't think it would be impossible for us, based on the height of this cavern, there's only 2, just to put in levee here, of course, platform and a levee on top. That's 36 logs. And then I would have to have this other side blocked off as well for that to divert out this way, which, you know, that's not a cakewalk. So why am I even talking about this right now? It probably doesn't matter. Yeah, you're right, but thinking and talking out loud are very helpful in terms of cementing your ideas. So, yeah, I'm reluctant to try and plant anything else down here until I know just how much space is going to be just absolutely destroyed in terms of growability. But I am pretty confident we'll be able to get a lot of these cassavas taken care of. We should, as at least a couple of you have pointed out, stagger the crop planting if we have the ability to, so we're not just rushing all the time 5 days apart to be able to take care of things. I think we're okay. So let's just get that going. I am going to prioritize harvesting because these are going to dry out very soon. So, we know we got these guys down here. We got, maybe, hopefully, a couple of these berry bushes can be saved. They're going to get poisoned really fast. Just really, really, really fast. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Where are you going to go first? You're going over there? Good. Just do anything, please. Please and thank you. I forgot I had another one here. That was a missed opportunity. These are definitely going to be dead really, really quick. Yeah, you see these are already getting less and less irrigated. I don't think there's any flooding or anything happening. We're just, you know, in a bad place. Yeah, this is creeping over here. Alright, well, no sense preserving the inevitable. Just get this on triple speed. See what we can take care of. I mean, honestly, if we can get even half of these berries... Oh, that's not happening. That's not happening. Oh, they're so done. They're so done. Oh, okay, that's dead. Okay, this is actually really bad. This is really, really bad. Alright, let's extend the workday just for this first one because there is a chance they can still get some of these berries. Okay, we've got fermented cassava. I don't have enough storage. I've got storage for regular cassava. Okay, you know what? This is actually an okay problem to have because I know it's a little more than 2.5. It's like 2.6 or whatever, but this is... We'll call it a day and a half worth of cassava to keep these guys alive. Stored in here, and then we 2.5 times the input to this, so I think that's probably alright. Yeah, just a little bit more work, guys. Just a little bit more work trying to save some of these blueberries. But I'm not going to blame you if you can't, because that's just the way she goes. So, this gatherer flag is finito. Goodbye. That also means I can regain a couple of squares here. In the interest of keeping beavers alive, I'm going to plant these as kohlrabis for right now. That's probably not even a term that needs to be pluralized, but you know how that goes. I'm an American. We don't know how to speak English. See, this is not plantable. Any of these harvestable? Oh, yes, they are. They are super harvestable. Okay. It is the end of the too long workday. So, this has got another... Oh, it's got another 2 days. Okay, we're going to be focused. There we go. Use the correct words, please. We're going to be focused on planting some stuff. And I expect this to dry up at some point. This pool, at least, somewhat to dry up in the near future. Maybe halfway through the drought, probably, judging by water levels. So we want to make sure we're growing stuff we can actually still harvest. Okay. Going to get our beaver back here. I don't think there's any other jobs I can really justify pausing. This is poisoned. It's done. I have extra beavers, so I'm going to put somebody in the lumberjack flag. They can cut these trees down. They are, once again, completely done. Oh, hey, I didn't mark those. All right, that's fine. It is very unfortunate about these. Our only shot of really preserving any of this down here is unfortunately going to be using irrigation barriers, which happen to be buried behind 400 science for that specific item, plus 800 science to make the components, so we're at 1200 science, plus 500 science to get the materials to make this, so it's not happening. It's just super not happening. 1700 science. Does this take metal too? No, thank God it does. Does not take metal. That would be that'd be a bad time. So where does that leave us now? We're over a full day in here, and I am very happy to report that we do still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, technically 15 bushes, but these aren't full grown, and they're all reachable by this one. So, you know, it definitely could have been a whole lot worse. Since these trees are dead and will not be coming back, let's harvest these things. Let's get them out of here. Get this lumberjack flag activated. Wow, I'm actually surprised it didn't kill all of these bushes. We do still have some berries. We have over 100 blueberries. That's good. That is very good. They're probably going to be all gone because of munching. But I have a dastardly plan to preserve emergency blueberry rations, and that is... I don't know if this is technically cheese. I'm sure there's going to be arguments about this, but I'm going to put some berries here, and then I'm going to disconnect it from the path network. We'll call this reserve stockpiles, emergency use only. I guess it's not really any more cheese than having beavers in the buckets and then, you know, pausing them. But this way we can at least have some berries that we can use to grow beavers in the buckets. Requires haulers to function. Okay. Well, that's another thing we probably need to do is build a hauling post. And I thought this was going to be a lot more expensive than it is. So that's a happy accident. Except it's not really an accident at all. You know what I'm talking about. I will say, let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to limit it to a single beaver, because remember, we only have 11 beavers. But having one of these guys ready to go is going to help us out a whole lot logistically, even if we just have to shuffle them around somewhere. So that, I think, is a good situation for us here. Oh, it's already filling with berries. That's fine. Why does it say requires haulers to function? It's clearly functioning and I don't have any. Oh well, never let facts get in the way of a good time. Except some situations you absolutely should let facts get in the way of having a good time. But this is not one of them. So these are all harvested. I've got... okay, realistically, none of these are going to be relevant for too long. Let's pause that. We have 218 water, which 2.1 something is the magic number per day per beaver. So, theoretically we're okay. Assuming we don't suddenly have a surge of population, which, you know, of course, that's what's going to happen. We do have breeding pods that are going to pop out in the next maybe 2-3 days, I think. So that is definitely something to keep an eye on. We could strategically pause if we feel so inclined. But I believe now what we're going to want to do is make as much of a step. Remember, all these are going to be dead, so this doesn't really matter anymore. Make as much of a step toward getting other things taken care of as we can. I'm going to get these inventors up, so even if we're not going to get to 250 science by the end of this, we're going to be part way there, and that's worth doing. I don't think I'm going to build any more diversion stuff right now for obvious reasons. Just want to make one more check and make sure I'm not wasting any opportunities to grow things. There is no more irrigated land that is actually viable. Unless I build stairs down here, and that might be our saving grace here. Let's do that. I know I don't have any planks. However, I only need to build this. I only need 4. And we've got logs. I can turn that on. I don't think I need to get rid of this quite yet. Let's make a decision right now to, excuse me, pause this fermenter. Fast forward through the night so we don't have to, sit here and be bored out of our minds. We also need planks for the hauling post, but I'm going to pause construction on that. Because we really want to be able to get down here and take care of... 1, there's trees down there, and then 2, we have a little bit more farming space. So once I get my 4 planks for that, I need to make sure I mark these for cutting. How old is this tree? 68%. Okay. Well, that's 6, 7, 8. This doesn't count because it's contaminated. 8 tiles for planting, which, woohoo, 8, that's not a lot, but hey. This is all we have. That is every iota of what we have access to at this moment in time. And, we're really not that far away from getting into this spot here, which I believe would give enough range to that farmhouse to at least access these tiles, depending on how I did it. I don't know. We will see. Eventually, I think the idea, especially since all these blueberry bushes are dead, is going to be to build across here and then have a bunch of stuff on top of this reservoir, like the farmhouse. Probably not power or anything like that, but if I can manage to make this work, I think we're going to be in okay shape. Not perfect shape, but okay shape. So I've got planks. I'm going to have more planks. I don't have the science to research suspension bridges, and I probably would not spend the science on those at this point anyway. So to get across here, if this is always going to be clean water, instead of having platforms go all the way, the easiest thing to do is going to be to put in stairs so they can just walk down there, and I think getting this blockage out of the way is going to be an important thing. Getting that one's out is going to be important. Those are structural. This one, technically, I think I could remove, but I'm not going to attempt it. I'm going to choose not to be super dense. So, while we are going to have stairs coming down this way, I don't think I want to continue with more stairs on this side just because there's more land that I could use for things that are not growing crops during bad tides or are growing crops during temperate cycles. I believe it's going to be in our best interest to put a staircase there and then a staircase here. And then once we have more planks, I can come back and make these platforms, but for right now, these take 6 planks each, and those are kind of a hot commodity. So, since I'm no longer needing this, I can get rid of this platform and this platform after they pick up these planks. I think that's going to be alright. Okay, we got 128 berries. Is this full? No, it is not. That's fine. I need to make sure that they are taking care of this at the greatest possible speed. Okay, one more plank here. That's alright. And this has not gotten any more contaminated, which I guess is a good sign. But yeah, we are, we're in a tough spot. Because no amount of irrigation or additional water in here is going to stop this from being contaminated. So our best bet in that regard, in terms of, you know, irrigation, is going to be to find a place at the very top, ideally with a terrain connection below it. Say right about here. These are going to be dead anyway. To build ourselves a little irrigation station, ideally right on top of this tile right here as the center, or one of the ones that is covered by it. It doesn't need to be 3 by 3 because that is how the math works. But if we're able to do that, then a lot of this up here, this entire thing, which most of it's going to be covered by the irrigation thing, is going to be covered with water and still be plantable outside of that. Technically 5 by 5 with corners cut out. Some of this, a very small portion, but most excitingly, if that's even the correct word, should be the vast majority of this down here, and then below that, well, below that it's probably not going to matter, but that's going to be huge. The unfortunate thing is that, yes, this does require the 250 science. And also, let's see, 12 levies to get the maximum whatever. So that's 144 logs. That's not going to be as big of a problem to come up with. But if you hadn't noticed, our wood supply is slightly dead at the moment. And it's going to take a while to come back. But I think we're okay. If I am able to get a forester in range, I do want to plant mangroves in the water here in the spaces we're not using. But remember, they're not going to grow if this is contaminated underneath them. So I'm going to have to be careful about where those get placed. Oh, wow, really? This fits under here the whole time? Okay, well that's going to make things a little bit easier here. I guess that's fine. If I turn this way, we're going to be juggling these buildings, and it's going to be probably frustrating to watch, but that's fine. I don't think I need a path going in there. The berry bushes are going to be our key to survival here, long term. So I'm going to try to plant all of this, because we know now during a bad tide this area does not get contaminated. Every single tile that I can manage to plant that does not ever get contaminated over here currently is going to have to be berries if we're going to have any chance at surviving long term. At least for right now. So that is what I will focus on. And again, there's not that many available. But then what I can do is I can come in here to these spots. If I can figure out where to put a staircase. This side is so contaminated it's not going to even be worth bothering. So if I do... Because I need to be able to access it from over here with a gatherer flag as well. Or from this one, so maybe it should be right here. Let's do that. That should have no problem. This is going to be where we put mangroves. So we've got 8 there, we got 9, we have 10. We have 10 mangroves. That's all I can do. All I can do right now, unless I'm able to get maybe 2 more over here, depending on what the range on that thing is. I can always move this. It's not like that's that big of a deal if we know this is going to be contaminated. And these are all going to be dead forever, which, let's be honest, that's what it is. In that case, I don't even need to, I don't even need to sweat it. I could just, I can just say, you know what, that's gonna be the way she goes. And then that becomes 4 mangrove spots. I think that's gonna be about as good as I can do, folks. Did they get these? Looks like they did. I also can't forget to turn the cassavas back on. Let's get that picked up so we can hopefully get all of this taken care of. Do I have... Or did I get rid of it? I think I did. At one point I had a... what do you call it over here? I know. Use your words. Lumberjack flag. That's the word. But I've got it right. got stuff right now, so I guess it's fine. Okay, do I have this complete? No, I do not. It's paused. That's also not a huge problem right now, but it's going to be. Okay, that needs 6 more. I've got 9. This needs 4 more. Okay, I can't pause that yet. Okay. These are set that way. That's fine. We've got enough food, including the berries that we managed to save. We've got enough food for the good of... Now I've got the ending song from Portal stuck in my head. The good of all of us, except the ones who are dead. What a great game. I'm going to turn the fermenter back on. That is 63% power. I think this is going to be fine. Yeah, I just need to start working through these cassavas because we're already eating into the berries here. Okay, I just need these guys to eat that. Okay, 15 berries here. That's not okay. So maybe my emergency berry stash isn't that big of a deal. All right, these are going to be dead pretty soon. It's already paused. I don't really need to worry about getting rid of this. This one does go all the way down here like it's supposed to. Where does this connect? I feel like I've asked this question a bunch. It doesn't. Okay. All right, that's fine. Oh, I also could just, you know, disconnect this. That was always an option. Oh, well, more storage is... Well, I'm not going to say it's never a bad thing, because sometimes it can distract you and cause problems. That's never happened before. Okay, I got 7 days left. I have 168 water literally in the tank. That is... it's probably fine. It's probably fine. I'm reluctant to build a water pump down here facing this way because I feel like that is going to very quickly become an issue. Well, at any rate, we're planting berry bushes. We'll be having mangrove trees very soon. What's the drought resistance on these? 6 days. Very good. Very good. So they're not going to, well... Unless all this water immediately disappears now, but I'll call that 33%. I think we're okay. We're not great, but we're oh, I should have paused this. I should have paused this. Okay, because now I have 13 beavers. That's going to throw my math off substantially. So now we're looking at with 13 beavers. It's like it's like 20 it's like 28 or 29 water per day. Let's call it 30 just to be safe. That's only 5 days worth and we got 7.1. Okay, well, we'll figure it out. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Alright, so, planks-wise, do I need any more planks? Survey says no. So that's paused. Continue working on the fermenter. Are these ready to be pulled out of the ground? They are... Actually, yes. The, kohlrabies are. We need to make sure we have every morsel of food available to our poor beavers. Alright, so that works. I'm kind of tempted to mark these for planting for mangroves, but knowing how this goes, I'm going to end up getting another bad tide, and then they're going to just be unceremoniously yeeted off the face of the earth. So maybe we won't worry about that. Okay, any more trees that I've marked for cutting down here? Yes, okay, there's still a few. Alright, this can be removed. That's fine. It's not load-bearing, I don't think. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. Almost had a little moment there. Okay, we're working on that. That's fine. Oh, they can't reach that, but they have that. Turns out I did need more planks after all. Oh well. Who could have seen that coming? It's fine. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I guess I have to turn this back on, but I'm trying to save that. And I know there's trees up here that I probably should get, and I've got no way to get across there. These are all dead, and these will soon be dead. I don't think there's a single one of these that can survive. So this is about to become prime territory for doing whatever we want. Somehow these trees didn't get poisoned, but they're definitely going to dry out. Well, that's the way she goes. In light of this, and the birch growth cycle being 7 days, I think it's time to just replant all of these as birch. And this as well. Because let's be honest with ourselves. The likelihood that we have a temperate cycle greater than 8 days is 0, because that is the cap. And if we have a drought, then okay, maybe they'll retain enough water to grow up pine trees, but we're never growing oaks, and we're going to be better off trying to grow as many mangroves as we can, and if those ever get poisoned, cut them down. So, seeing that as an option, 10 days down here, I think these became poisoned before we got to 10 days from the start of a temperate cycle. So it's probably ill-advised to focus on planting mangrove trees here because they're not going to grow to maturity. But if we are able to divert bad water and have this just be regular clean water, then all we'll have to worry about is contamination from here. Literally just this. Which probably is still going to kill most of these unless I can put in these irrigation barriers, which we've already established that's not happening. I guess that's fine. So I've got 52 logs. We've got this built. I need 4 more planks, so we'll have to turn that on. That's fine. I'm going to... Oh, this is actually full. Okay. Okay. Let's... Yeah, it's worth my while to have a an actual storage for this. Yeah, is this going to play nice with me here? I guess this is fine to put right here because I can build on top of it. I'm going to have storage for... This is so circuitous. This is not a great place to put this. Let's instead, if I'm going to play the game, literally, let's put storage down here. These are already dead and they're not coming back. So let's do that. Let's turn this into raw cassava storage. I know it's not close to this, but this is currently where the raw cassava storage is. And that would be okay as fermented cassava storage when this is all finished. Because remember, the reason you want to store your raw material in a larger quantity is because that's better density of finished product. 2.5 times as many fermented cassavas can come from the same amount of raw cassava. And we want to make sure we take advantage of that as much as possible. And once this is irrigated, if I'm able to do what I want to do, this is going to move anyway, and it's probably going to come over here. But we're not there yet, so we don't need to be worried about it quite so much. That is not connected. Well, this one's not going to survive anyway, so just rip it out of the ground now and put it out of its misery. I don't have the planks there. That's... Well, it's not fine that we don't have it, but that's not much else I can do. Okay, these pine trees are a good thing to have here. I can't really replace them anywhere else. That's fine. Oh, I was going to plant stuff here and then I didn't do it. Well, sometimes you just forget. Wait a minute. Ha 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 ha, I forgot. I've got space over here and this is always going to be irrigated. Oh, I should have done this forever ago. You're going to become oak trees. These also have good drought resistance of 15 days. So the only way that these go away and are not irrigated is if this pool dries up entirely, and if we're not pumping out of it, that's going to take longer than the maximum drought cycle. I am a little embarrassed I didn't think of that before. Oh well. It's fine. And we probably don't need this many blueberry bushes long term, but I'm just really afraid of not having blueberries. Okay. Oh, this video is already going way too slow. We're not even halfway through the drought and it's been 35 minutes. But now that we know what we know, I can pause this lumberjack fly, get a beaver back out of there. Got 13 beavers. I need to check on this and see if we're about to... Okay, no, we're not even close. I've got to get some more science if I'm going to have any chance of doing any of this. Remember, I need 144 wood just to build a little irrigation thing here. And then to do the fluid dump itself, I need another 20, but 10 of them have to be refined into something else. So I've got to have about 100 and... No, and I have to have stairs too. I have to have about 170-ish logs to quote-unquote throw away at doing this. So it's like every tree is going to have to get... Every tree. Okay, this gatherer flag doesn't need to be here. Just clean that up. Easy money up here, but I have to build stairs to do that. That's... Oh, that's an oak. Okay, that's worth it. That's worth doing. So that's fine. I hate to have to put another staircase just to get one more oak tree. That seems like it's not worth it. Because you have to use 5 logs worth of stuff to get 8. That seems unwise. But here, this is like 30. It's probably fine. We've got all these birches over here. Probably not worth it for a while. These are going to die at some point. Actually, 5.9 days, huh? There's a small amount of these that may survive until the next temperate cycle. Okay, now what am I supposed to do? I've got 50 fermented cassava because I don't have a storage for anything else. This needs to be connected. This is going to be storage for fermented cassava because I got to get these out of here so this can actually continue operating. Well, I mean, it's currently still doing stuff, but there we go. There we go. Got to keep this thing flowing here. We're going to have problems. I think at this point there's probably not much else I can do. Yeah, the water is going to run out and it's going to be bad. But it's not going to be, like, permanently bad. I really don't want this water to go down. That's why I'm not pumping it. It's probably still going to, but cassavas have a drought resistance of 3 days, and the kohlrabi's are only 2 days, but I'm not as worried about those. I just need to try and keep this going as much as I can. Okay, so I know I have that in place, so that's taken care of for later. That is waiting on 2 more planks. I have not built the hauling post yet. That will come in due time. I just got to get these logs out of here, man. Got to get these logs out. Okay, 1 more plank, and then I'm going to have to pause this. Okay, that's it. That's it. That's paused. So, this now can get turned back on. I've got enough of these where I think I can take these guys out and get them in the inventor huts. Remember, we still have to get 241 science to be able to do this. No, it's not 241. I can't do math. It's 100 and almost 200. 191. These are not marked. Come on. Click and drag. So that hopefully is not going to take too long. These are not accessible. These are accessible, but there's nobody down here to do them. Okay. Well, these are free to build, so there's no reason not to. Just get those all pulled out. We're going to have to be very careful with what we do regarding the rest of our wood. And water storage is going to be a problem. So I feel like I really should be building more of these before I focus on doing irrigation, because if you don't have water to dump in the irrigation pond, then it doesn't matter if you have an irrigation pond. So, I know that's not the fun, exciting answer. But that is, that's where we find ourselves, folks. Now that I have access over here, I can get... These are all dead anyway, so it doesn't matter. That's not going to fit there. Let's give these a hookup that way. Those marked for cutting. Now they are. And I've got 4 accessible over here. That should be... Yeah, that's not going to be a problem. I feel like I should cut these down too, but I'm also afraid that bad things are going to happen. So, let's pause the forester because, well, they've done everything they can do. These were poisoned areas. Poisoned tiles, I'm 99% sure. Okay, it's not going to let me do that. Well, too late now. I already built it, so... Oh, that's right. They made it so you can zoom further out. I forgot. Alright. These are going to be dead, so it doesn't matter. I don't have to have them removed. But I need to remember, because I don't have my locator thing here. Okay, this tile. No, it's this one, because this is, yeah, that's going to contribute the most. So this is the center, which means I have to have one here, 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 here. These do not need to be built right now. I will pause them, but I'm just marking that out so I don't forget. Again, the 3x3 is because that is going to give us the greatest radius for irrigation. It will not repel contamination over here, but it will allow us to get a very small selection of tiles here and some over here, but most importantly, a lot of this. Alright. Oh, man, I'm going to have to pump. I only have 82 water left. Alright. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Pause the breeding pods, because these, well, they're consuming water, they're consuming berries. Berries I'm not really that concerned with, but we're going to be in trouble if we don't take care of that. We got those built. That's good. We have a total water capacity of 300 now. That's good. Should I build a tank? Well, okay, I don't have the manpower to make these components anyway. Okay, these trees are all gone. That's fine. Go do something else. Okay, this guy's still got some. I'm not putting stairs here. That is not worth it in the slightest. Having access to the top of here actually is not a bad idea. If I wanted to use 15 logs, I could put a rooftop terrace up here. It's one of the only places on the map that's actually possible right now. Well-being is going to help us out a lot, so I think that's worth doing. We might as well take care of that. Got logs there. I probably should finish this too, but let's be honest. I'm a little scatterbrained. That's not gonna fit there. I've got these 3 here. I guess it doesn't matter. But I'm going to take that out and make it so they can access the rest of this. Okay, those are marked. That should be fine. This has absolutely nothing that it can do here. I've got cassavas I can pull. I've got these. Oh, I was going to get these oak trees ripped up here. Alright, temporary solution. Those are marked, right? Yes, okay. Alright, let's see. 32% of the way there for those mangroves. 27, I can't read. Hey, we got berries! Alright. Good, 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 good. Oh, I'm so glad this is going actually kind of well. Oh, this could be so much worse. And those of you who remember the Apocalypse Mode, Series 21/22, I think it was, this is going stupendously well in comparison to that. Alright, 3.4 days. We got 54 water. We have 13 beavers. So we're going to have the last... maybe the last 2 days of this with some very thirsty beavers. This... okay, this is going to... that's not going to make it another day. It's like a half a day. So that's going to be fun. Cassavas, I think, are going to be fine. We will see. We will see. Is there anything else that's being built right now? I don't think the answer is yes. Okay, this is done. Let's pause that. I'm not going to delete it because it's actually holding logs. I've got 90. Got 90 logs. I've got another 24 here. I've got some over here that I can't access. And I won't be able to. I've got some over here. Okay. I feel comfortable enough starting construction on these levees up here. And then once these other things die, we'll be able to do that. Oh, I hope this goes well. Alright, we are in roughly 1 to 1 1/3 days of water left at 3 days left in the bad tide. So far, we haven't lost a single beaver to starvation or hunger, to my knowledge. Please correct me if I'm wrong, and you saw that pop up on here. I very much do not enjoy lying to you, so if I'm incorrect, please tell me. Okay, so that is... Yeah, this is about to be completely demolished here. Soon, friends. Very soon. Alright, so that's... Make sure all these planks are facing the same way. It literally does not matter, but it will cause me to lose sleep if I don't do it, so... That's the way she goes. Yeah, that... Yep, they went and got their bedtime drink of water here, so now we got one more morning sip on the second to last day, and that's it for the water. But that is oh, hold on. Oh no, my kohlrabies. Oh, these guys are fine though. Cassava's that's the real bad one. You lose those. Alright, drought resistance to 16 days because those are very good trees and I love them forever until the next time they make me mad and then I'll complain about them. These are built. I've got 56. Okay. This is, it's shaping up to be not terrible. Except now I'm eating exclusively berries. Let's fix that. Let's immediately fix that. Take a look at what I don't have paused. Okay, I got 3 builders. I can probably do it with 2. Farmhouse can be paused because nothing's growing. That should solve my problems. I think it does. Okay. Okay, because I really don't want to lose all of my berries. Are these irrigated? They are not, but they're also not going to die. So that's good. Take this off at triple speed. Alright, folks. You know, I honestly expected this to be worse. And I'm terrified for the moment that that happens. But for now, things are fine. Kind of. Now, we'll get a little bit of wood back when I remove this after this gets cleaned out. Until I can research floodgates, my diversion strategy is just going to be remove this one piece of levee, because they can stand on this thing here and build that. And I won't have to redo all of this. We'll get 8 or 9, yeah, we'll get 9 of these back that we used to build it, so that should be fine. I've got, log-wise, I've got enough now, just about, to do the rest of this. Just about. Depending on how dumb I want to be. There's a storage here. If I get rid of the industrial... Ha-ha! Oh, I had an idea. I had an idea. We just rebuild the industrial pile and use it as a land bridge to get to this guy. And then I get 8 more logs. Oh, I love this. I love this. Let's go. Let's go. Alright, take note of the well-being now. It's at a healthy 6. And everyone is fed, and everyone is watered. And we have 1.3 days left. I genuinely did not think this was possible. And we still have some fermented cassava. Look at that. Look at that, boys and girls. Don't you love to see it? I'm going to have a couple more batches of fermented cassava, too. Electric Boogaloo. There we go. You know what? You know, sometimes I make these series and I worry that I'm not any good at the game, and you got like the imposter syndrome thing going on. I was like, oh, okay, well maybe I'm actually not that bad at this. It just seems like I am because I don't really do things the right way. But I need this to be able to pause, and that should be the last one there. All right, you're done. Go somewhere else. This needs to be set for logs. This can become a place of employment once more to get 8 more logs. And now they should be able to get all the way around here. Please, nobody get stuck in the middle. In fact, I'm so afraid of that, I'm going to pause that levy because, you know, sometimes these beavers are mind-bendingly stupid. And sometimes it's actually my fault. Let's see. This has no more trees to cut, so that can be paused. Get a beaver back. I got 3 extra beavers. Alright, you're builders now. You are builders. And I've got 5. Okay, we'll call this 5 of these. So I need another 60. I've got 47. I've got that tree. I've got some other trees. We are going to be in good shape. Oh, yes. Still, definitely a terrifying situation, but I can't be that mad about it. So we'll put stairs there. Get these connected here. And depending on the situation with the planks, remember this is basically all of the wood that we have is going into doing this as a method of self-preservation. And we also don't have any water. And I don't have anything else to pump from. And this is the last day of the bad tide. Okay. I really need to make sure I get all of these beavers pumping as much as possible, and I want this to be full before the next drought or bad tide happens. So now, I can't remember what the handicap ramp is for... Okay, not literally an accessibility feature. I'm talking about the mechanism by which the game ramps up the duration and all that of bad tides. I do not know when that is completely finished, meaning we're going to be eligible for the 29-day ones. But I don't want to find out at the wrong time. So that is, that's where we're going to find ourselves. Okay. I need to make sure I am set up as best as I possibly can be to get everything rolling as soon as this turns over to the next temperate cycle. I'll tell you what, I've never, ever, I don't think in episode 4, been still in cycle 4. That is the slowest I think I've ever played this game. But we're trying our best to, you know, do it correctly. We are certainly trying our best. Hey, I gained additional space here for berry bushes. Why is that? Is that because we're at the end of the... No, this is still contaminated. What's up with that? Well, okay, you know what? I'm going to choose not to worry about it. This definitely does not need to be up here anymore. For the time being, at least. This has gotten all of these trees. I'm pretty sure we're never going to use that again. Oh, I know there's at least a couple of you that are incensed I have not built this. It's going to be okay. Don't worry about it. We need to plant these trees. So I can go ahead and get that unpaused. We need to get crops going, so I can have that unpaused. And I don't have the science to do this right now anyway, so this is not of extreme importance. I'm going to, for that reason, take this down to 2 beavers. I want to make sure we can still have people in adventure huts because I am only 55 science away from having a fluid dump. And that is good news. But we're going to run into some problems if I don't have these water pumps staffed as soon as possible. So let's do those. I'm going to leave this unpaused. I forgot that I had that up there. It's going to be minimum priority, because of course it is. Let's do one more check here. Honestly, I should have all 5 of these staffed, and I should say forget everything else. But I definitely need to have the farmhouse. I've only got 11 adults, because remember I've had these paused also. Those need to be unpaused. I don't think that's going to be a problem now. We're not... Okay, well, we're definitely thirsty. We're not in horrible death mode yet. That one forester does need to be ready to go. Gatherer flag can be paused, at least for right now. Inventors are fine. There's nobody in there. Power wheel's fine. Lumberjack flags. Which one is this? That one can be paused. This one, I think, can still get at a couple of trees. That's fine. We'll leave him going. So where does that leave us on staffing? We're at -2, which means one of these inventors should be staffed. Okay. I feel pretty good about that. Feel pretty good about it. So, this is where I'm going to end this episode, because this is a very, very good stopping point, and it's also almost an hour long. But before we do that, I do want to make sure this is taken care of. I just want this to flow clean. It looks like that is the case. And away we go. This will flow through here. Get this able to be pumped. This is going to start filling up this thing down here, flow through this. And I think we'll be okay. And these guys are going to get planting. So, let's... So this is a great opportunity for me to stagger plant these, but oh, bad things are going to happen if I just let this play while I'm doing the beard booster stuff. So you see the names on the screen. You already know this is episode 4 of this series, and if you've watched any of the rest of my, I don't even know how many videos, probably somewhere between 700 and 800 on this game. You already know those are the folks that help keep the channel going, make it so I don't have to take sponsors on these videos, and so I don't have to try and chase the algorithm or edit these videos down into 20 minutes or whatever. I just have a good time playing with beavers and enjoy a community that, for the most part, has been really, really positive and supportive, and I'm always happy to see people enjoying these videos or giving helpful advice, even if it frustrates you that I don't necessarily implement everyone's suggestions all the time. I do always read the comments, and I do appreciate you engaging and giving your feedback. But yes, it's for that reason this is going to remain paused until the start of episode 5. And then we'll tackle our recovery strategy. But, friends, I did not think that this was going to go as well as it did. I had the suspicion that it would probably be doable. But I have, at risk of, being overconfident, surprised myself. I know. Quit gloating. You survived cycle 4 on hard mode. Yeah, I know. Whatever. It's fine. But whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you back again soon for more beavers and more other things to come. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.